Alright, so I'm going to talk about some subjects that have been kind of been around already, but I figured I want to throw my 2 cents in on two different subjects. And firstly, I'm going to be talking about the new Justice League lineup that I think is coming very soon. I think it's supposed to appear later this year, if I'm not mistaken, or at the start, because I've heard at one point it's oh, this is the new Justice League lineup, and I've heard also that this might come out after the events of Justice League vs. Suicide Squad. And that is the new lineup that Batman has put together a new team of Justice League members, consisting of the Ray, Lobo, Killer Frost, Ryan Choi Adam, the second Adam, Black Canary, and Vixen. Just let that sink in for a moment. Just let that team kind of sink in for a moment, will ya? Just kind of let that froth in your mind for a little bit. Oh, God. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about this team. Now, as you guys know, I'm a big Lobo fan, and it's really fun to finally see Lobo back, not that new 52, the real Lobo, not that new 52 shit. Because seriously, that was not Lobo. That was a DLC character from Final Fantasy. I know it's not, but my joke is really lame and sorry. But no, he looks like a that Lobo looked like a Final Fantasy character. You know it, I know it, and I'm pretty sure DC knew it. So, yeah, it's really cool to see Lobo on the real Lobo, and it's weird to have him on the Justice League though, because the dude is the baddest batchnitch in the galaxy, and a mass murderer who could fight Superman. Yeah, and then we have Killer Frost. Now, the other thing with this now you have to understand that much like it could be with Clayface in Detective Comics, this Killer Frost in the Rebirth universe could be a good guy. And you could probably guess also with Black Canary, Vixen, and Ray, and even the Ray, and as well as Ryan Choi's Adam. Yeah, it does feel like they're pulling a lot from the DCCW. It does feel a lot like they're pulling a lot from the DCCW. Obviously, because Vixen's on there, Black Canary is kind of on there. Not really anymore, it's just White Canary. We also have Killer Frost, Caitlin Snow's on there. The Ray is apparently making his appearance on the CW. He's actually getting an animated show, I should say. The Ray is getting an animated show. And you also have, and then you may be thinking, well, Ryan Choi isn't the Atom in that universe. No, but he is wearing an armor similar to Ray Palmer's suit in that universe. So this is like 90%, 95% a CW team, with the exclusion of, even though, it's the same armor, Ryan Choi, Lobo, and Batman. This is literally like a team out of the CW. Yeah, and now you may be thinking, oh, why are you bad-mouthing it? I'm not. In fact, it's kind of an interesting team. Of all the people Batman could have gotten, you hired an intergalactic mass-murdering bounty hunter, and another villain, possibly, who has tried to kill Firestorm multiple times. But again, they could easily change it that, Killer Frost in this universe is a good guy, kind of like what they did with Clayface in a way, in Detective Comics. So, yeah. Now, this is an interesting Justice League team. This is a very interesting Justice League lineup that we have here, and I'm wondering what kind of team we're going to be playing around with in this new incarnation. I'm wondering where you could go with story-wise. And again, you have literally one of the most powerful beings in the DC universe, Lobo, on your team. It's safe to say he's the strong arm of the team. And you may be thinking, well, Lobo can't be that powerful. This is a dude who can knock Superman half across the galaxy if need be. If you've ever read the 90s comics of Lobo, this dude has fought Satan, legions of angels, and is so bad, Lobo literally cannot die because he was kicked out of both heaven and hell. Yeah, Batman looked at this guy and said, that's totally Justice League material. But I am curious to see how Lobo is going to act on this kind of team with, of course we have Killer Frost and Black Canary and Vixen and Ray, and of course Ryan Choi's Atom, which is good to see Ryan. I am glad that Ryan's coming back as the Atom, because I liked Ryan Choi, and I kind of felt like his death in that Titans one shot was really like, man, that wasn't cool. That was totally below the belt. And wow, this was totally unbecoming of this character. Yeah, so it is pretty fun to see Ryan Choi back as the Atom. Granted, it's a little odd to see him in the CW armor, but all right. And I understand, yeah, CW does get good views. Let's be honest here. CW does get a lot of good, it does get good ratings. Story-wise is a totally different story, but let's not talk about that. And there are fans of it, so of course it would make sense that DC would, put together a team that is very influenced of a series of 4 shows that has gotten a lot of buzz behind it. That's the logical option. So I'm not really complaining. Now I don't know who is writing this team. I don't know who's going to be writing this comic. I don't know who is aware of that. If anyone knows, just let me know in the comments below. But it's gonna be interesting because, like I said, this is one of the most oddball Justice League teams I have ever seen. Yeah, and I've seen a lot of Justice League teams come and go, but this is the most oddball one by far I have seen. Yeah. So I am very curious to see where this is going to go, what kind of stories they could do with this. So, yeah, so you guys tell me, what do you guys think of this Justice League lineup? Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later. Oh, also, thought this would be interesting to add, but what do you guys think of all the CW stuff showing up more in the DC Rebirth comics? Are you guys okay with it? Are you guys not? Again, that was another thing I'm very curious about. What do you guys think of that especially? So, once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you guys later.